Brian Reynolds has torn his calf. Out 2 to 3 months. Gonna miss, most likely, the rest of the season. Yes, I would like to stop simulating, even though we're on a 6-game winning streak. 6 games behind the Reds. 2 games ahead of the Giants in the wild card. Oh, this is heartbreaking. This is heartbreaking. Having an MVP season, 28 home runs, tears his calf. I've sat here for 45 minutes debating this trade. Luis Ariz could play first base for us. He could play pretty much anywhere on the field. His main position, second base, secondary, first base, third base, shortstop, left field. We just got our left fielder hurt. Osiris Johnson can play center field, second base, third base, shortstop, left field, right field. He's in AAA. He's got a little ways to go, but look at that fielding. Look at the arm. Look at the accuracy. Look at the reaction. This kid is ready. We'd have to give up Eldridge, Tristan Beck, Solometo for a chance to bring in a player like Luis Ariz on an expiring contract. I've sat here for 45 minutes debating in my head if we're going to do this or not. And we're not. But we need to make a roster move. We need to make a decision here. We have the all-star, the MVP of our team, Brian Reynolds, get hurt in the middle of July. We have 2.5 months left in the season. If, best case scenario, this 2 months is 2 months and not a full 3 months that he is injured, he could be back at the end of the season. Right now, it is the 20th of July. We go forward 1 month, August 17th. We go forward another month, September 21st. He would have a week of games left. Would they even matter? Is this injury going to hurt us that bad? I don't think the Ariz trade is worth it. It turns us into a buyer, in my opinion. And we'd have to give up someone like Eldridge, someone like Beck, Solometo. We'd have to do that to pull off that trade. We're sitting in second place, 6 games out of first. We're 2 games ahead of the Giants, 2.5 games ahead of the Cardinals for the wild card. The Marlins are 5 games back. The Cubs are 5.5. They're still within striking distance. I just don't believe it's time to blow this up. Right now, if you look at what we have here, we could put Olivares in left field. We could put Langford in right field. We could look at that and swap it potentially. This hurts us. Does it hurt us that bad? We'll find out. We got to make a roster move, though. The best player on the 40-man, without digging into some of the players and starting their 3-year clock towards using all of their options, the best player is Solometo. I don't think we need to add a bullpen arm. The next one is Kobe Mayo. Kobe Mayo could play first. Kobe Mayo could play third. Doesn't help us in the outfield. We lost an outfielder. Kobe Mayo's having a pretty good year in AAA. His numbers are dropping, but his attributes are going up a lot better than they were last season. We already used his option, so it wouldn't cost us another option to bring him up this year. That's in the cards. Richie Palacios, is he going to be a contributor long term? That's one of the things I kind of want to look at here. Let's go edit. I do take a look at this sometimes just to get an idea. His potential is just 75. So he is at 70. Where did he go? Where did he go? He's at 71 right now. He's losing a little bit of power from the left side, or against left-handed pitching. He's batting 277, pretty similar year. But the issue with bringing up Palacios right now is if we need to send him back down, we can't. We'd have to put him out for waivers because he's already used all 3 of his options. That brings us to Franz Talbot. No way I'm starting that clock on Franz yet. Franz needs time to develop. He needs to stay down there a little bit. He's 18 years old. The fielding's got to go up big time. We've seen a good increase of it so far. 299 batting average. I don't think that's the move. But fielding-wise, then we drop all the way down to Enrique Bradford Jr., and he's having a solid year as well at AAA, seeing his development. Does he have any options used? He does not. If we look at him, he's potentially going to turn into an 84 overall. Could be a future outfielder for us. Look at those ratings in the field as well. It's just one of these things where we need to bring up a player, add it to the roster so we have 26 players, but are we going to give them playing time? Are they going to get on the field? Is it going to stunt their growth? If we had some veteran that we knew we were just not going to use very long term, we could bring them up to fill the spot. It's a dilemma. It's looking like a dilemma. One of the other things I did want to check out before we make this move is we're going to go into transactions, if I can find it. And pending. There's no one on the waiver wire. Wanted to check that. Free agent wise, Adam Duvall's out there. He's just sitting out there as a free agent. Could play a lot of positions. We've done this before. We've brought someone in off of the free agency. We did it a couple times last season. Just declining, just not going to help us much. Aaron Hicks, Trace Thompson could come in as well. Not much money. Carlos Santana, not much money. It wouldn't cost us. Is that what we do? I've been debating over this for 45 minutes. But let's go ahead and we got to make a move. Let's go look at our outfielders this way. So now we have Langford, Olivares. Olivares could probably play a lot in center field. His fielding I wish was a little bit better. I mean, honestly, besides his arm, Langford's kind of got him beat at accuracy. He's got him beat on reaction. Just the arm is a little bit weaker. So that's, gosh, I'm struggling. I mean, this obviously means good things for Gilberto Celestino. It probably means good things for Jack Sawinski. He's probably not going anywhere because of this injury. What do we do? What move do we make here? Is it John Rhodes? Do we bring John Rhodes up? I believe we've used none of his options either. And this is a player right here that, at best, I believe he's going to be a backup bench player. I think that's the move I'm going to make. He is not on the 40-man right now. He will be Rule 5 eligible. To keep him, we're going to have to add him to the 40-man anyways. That's going to be our move. John Rhodes, welcome to the big leagues. And in turn, that means that Luke Brown is going to get moved to AAA, and PJ Hilson is going to be the main guy in AA. Let's take a look at those lineups real quick. We'll go to AAA. We want to move Luke Brown here. Probably move him down to the bottom of the lineup, though. We're going to move up Bradfield, because I want to see Bradfield develop a little bit more. So let's get him more at-bats in the 5 hole. And we'll do that as well over here. And Bradford, yeah, we'll go ahead and move him in the 5 hole, get him at-bats. Let's go to AA. Said that Hilson was going to be the starter there. Batting 5th is perfect. 59 overall. I don't think we're going to see much from this kid, but he's filling the spot. 24-year-old, deep potential, playing AA ball. Good for him. We'd all love to do that. AAA, that did not... Yeah, we already fixed the AAA lineups, but moving into the big leagues. Got to replace your MVP candidates. What a tough time. What a tough time. So what we're going to do first, I think we're going to compare a little bit defensively. Celestino versus Sawinski. Sawinski's reaction, 54, fielding 73. Celestino, 72, reaction 70, arm a 90. What was Sawinski's arm was only a 70. Speed-wise, pretty comparable. I think instantly what I'm going to do is put Celestino in center field. We got an arm of 70 in left field and a arm of 61. We're going to swap those. Langford's going to go to his natural position. On the other one here, Celestino already in center. Left field we need to solve. Langford's going to solve that with left field. And do we bring Sawinski in right field here? Potentially. So that gets the players into the lineup, but now we need to get the lineup sorted out. Naturally, I think it feels real wise to leave Henry Davis where he is. O'Neal Cruz having a good year. I didn't really want to move him up that far in the lineup, but I think it's time. O'Neal Cruz is going to jump to number 3. Brian Hayes, I want him to stay at 5, even though getting him more at bats might be decisions to make here. Langford, I am going to move up to. We'll move him up to the 7th. Sawinski's going to stay at 8th. Celestino's going to stay at 9th. Over here, we were going to do the same. Against left-handed pitching, Cruz is going to actually stay at 7th. I think we'll put, let's see, could put Walker at 3, Olivares at 5. He's not a lot of power. Let's put him at 6. And we'll put Langford at 5, Cruz at 7, Sawinski at 8, and Celestino at 9. And getting into a series against the 45 and 55 Milwaukee Brewers. The Pirates win the first game, 5-1. And we get right back into signing our draft picks here. Let's try to get Gehringer signed. I'm going to go $6.5 million. He's declined again. It's going to be rough. Let's see if we can get Joe Stewart in. We'll go to close to $1 million. He decides to sign. Very nice. Tom Goss needs some more time gaining some interest, as well as Eric Baxter. The next day, the Brewers beat us 2-1, and that would be a loss for Marco Gonzalez. It was due to happen. He's 8-6. He's pitching a lot of innings. On the very next day, we lose 3-11. Skeens gives up 6 runs. Is it time to make a move on that? Getting more competitive. Does Skeens need to go down to AAA? Yeah. Decisions. Signing draft picks. Let's try to lock this in. We're going to go to 7 million. He still declines. If we don't get him in here, I'm gonna be sad. And here we get the news that Alex Kirilloff is eligible to be reinstated from the injury list, but is still injured for a few days. We are going to keep him on the injured list. We do not want to make that roster move yet. Taking off the Phillies here. And we get interrupted by another trade offer from the Diamondbacks. They want Bailey Falter. They really want to get rid of this Kepler contract. It's like, I thought about this. I was looking at him, and his stats this year, we're not interested. Even if it's a 1-year deal here, I'm just not interested in that, D-backs. We did end up beating the Phillies. Looking at the box score here, Manuel Hernandez, what a surprise. He doesn't get the win, but 6 innings, 3 runs given up, 1 earned run. Pretty interesting there. No walks, so that must have been errors. We do have 1 error. But Benny Arebu does get the win in the 10th inning. It looks like he pitched the 9th and 10th. Didn't give up any runs. Didn't give up a hit. 2 strikeouts. And on the next day, we can sign our draft picks again. Eric Baxter. What are we going to have in our budget here? If we give you 2.25, he's going to decline. This is rough. We're going to go to 7 million. 7.35 here. Dude, you're pissing me off. Pissing me off. If we gave up a top closer, which I'm really interested in seeing the stats of that closer, and this guy doesn't sign with us, we're going to be gunning and hunting for him the rest of the playthrough. The Pirates win again against Phil. Okay, so what is happening with this team? We're 6 games behind the Reds still, a game ahead of the Giants. We are 9 games above 500. This team's for real. The Phillies do end up getting a win on the Sunday game. We take 2 out of 3 against them. We lose 3-2. Looking at the box score, who was pitching for us? It was Keller, gets a loss, gives up 3 runs. He's 8-8 this year. He's struggling a little bit. Okay, we're gonna go to Baxter first. All right, we get Baxter in here. Almost able to offer to Goss here. So Goss is, what is Goss wanting? Can we even see that? We cannot, but we need to lock him in. But we go here. MLB suggested pick value is 7.7, which would leave us 1.2 million. I kind of want to see, let's look at the calendar. So we'd have the 30th. Let's go in here and we'll make this our top priority. So we'll get 5 extra interest in the next 2 days and 3 extra interest in Joel. And we need to make a roster move here. We're going to place him on the bench. We don't want to lose sight of what's going on here, though. 7-4 against the Mariners. We're skidding a little bit here. Oviedo gets the loss, gives up 5 runs in 2 1/3. The rest of the bullpen did a pretty good job. Gives up 2 runs in 6 2/3 innings. Offense is getting somewhat cold. It looks like that was a day off for Davis. The lineup got mixed up a little bit. Let's go take a look at the roster now. So this put us in the situation where we did call up a player in John Rhodes, and he has all of his options. He's gotten into 1 game, 3 at-bats, but got a feeling this was going to happen, and he's better than McCutchen now. I mean, at this point, he doesn't have his I'm going to try this. We're going to try to send McCutchen to AAA. You just can't keep a roster spot for a player that you're just not going to trust anymore that's declining this much. You know, we talked about wanting him to retire with the team, but it's probably just not going to be possible to retire at the major league level. He's not performing at a major league level anymore. Take a look at what the Diamondbacks did in 2023 with Nick Ahmed. He was with the team his entire career, a little different than McCutchen. McCutchen left and came back, but Ahmed was a Diamondback since he was, you know, in the league, and he ended up getting waived. He's on the Giants now, having a pretty good season this year, but it was something the Diamondbacks had to do because they had a stockpile of really good shortstops. Right now, I think this is the right move here. We end up having a player in AAA that makes $3 million. It's a thing. I don't think anyone's going to pick him up off of waivers. Maybe it happens, but that gets us in a situation where we can just move on and keep playing games and see what happens there. We end up losing the first two against Seattle. What does that do to us in the standings? We are now tied with the Giants at 57 and 51. Starting to slip away. All right, let's see what Goss wants. He's wanting 1.1. If we offer him 1.19, we get him. Then we go over here to Joel. We offer Joel the allotment we have left. He declined. He's an 18-year-old. He's going to go right back in the draft next year if we don't get him. End up getting swept by Seattle, but Enrique Bradford Jr. fractures his shin, out 2 to 3 months. Phillies offer us a trade here for Sawitsky. Oh man, let's look at these players. Henry Mendez is a C, potential 65 overall. Pretty solid, consistent stats here. Nothing shows as a major weakness. Nothing shows as a major strength. It's batting .226 in AAA. They're also wanting to give us starting pitcher Alex McFarland, who I'm not too interested in whatsoever. Declined. Thank you for the offer. But that is a 4-game losing streak, and that probably, oh, we're still tied. 4 out of the last 6, 4 out of the last 10 we've lost. So, looking at our last opportunity here to sign this jerk. And it's trade deadline day. Let's go look. I'm a little pissed. We're gonna go look at other things though for a little bit here. Christian Walker does show as one of the top players on the block. I don't think we'll be moving him. I think we're gonna hold pat. I don't see really any relief pitchers that would come in and just blow us away, even though Nick Sandeline here looks like he's having a pretty good Sandelin. He's having a pretty good season. 25 games, only 26 innings pitched, but 4 blown saves. But that's a pretty good ERA. Only 1 home run given up, 6 runs. What do we do here? Let's go over the team a little bit here. Hayes is still at 299. Avedo having a pretty good year. Cruz is at 226, 19 home runs, 50 RBIs. Keller could do better. Reynolds is sadly hurt. What does that show? 1 to 2 months still. Jones having a great turnaround to his year. He's got his ERA down to 351 and 5 wins. I don't think he's lost since we got that first win. That's pretty nice. Christian Walker, 264. Better stats than he had last year. Home run wise, the power is decreased. The RBIs have decreased, but his on-base percentage has dropped as well. That's just going to decline even more. Paul Skeens, just don't know what to do with this guy. He has regressed, even though most of his stats are going up still. Not improving good enough for us right now. Triolo's on a cold streak, 274. Henry Davis, 307, still having a solid campaign. Zawitsky, 254. And the big one I want to focus on here is he's way down here. Celestino, 265, still playing pretty solid for us. Good to see. Beck could come up. That would probably be something we do on the September call-ups. I just think we're holding pat here. I think we're going to stay where we are. We're going to move on. We're going to defeat the Cardinals 6-2. We got to fix our AAA lineups. We didn't adjust the lineup for Kirilloff. I'm moving too fast. This whole draft pick not signing with us has got me flabbergasted. So what do we want to do here? Is it Christian Walker? He's playing pretty well. Who's the weak one out? I think it's Langford. I think Langford is going to go to the bench here, and we're going to bring in Kirilloff to play left field. I think that would be wise, and leave Sawitsky in right field. Kirilloff was batting .309 when he got hurt. We're going to leave him at the 7 there, and then in this lineup, Langford against righties or Kirilloff against Langford against lefties or Kirilloff. I think we're going to platoon them like this for a little bit. See if that helps Langford out. That gets Kirilloff on the field. Didn't really get an offer there for Walker that we liked. Nobody's traded for Luis Ariz. Insane. So we probably could come in here and just be like, you guys need a first baseman. Let's throw in, you know, a Holderman, and we could pull that off, but we're not going to do that. And then the AAA squad lineup needs fixed because of that injury. So we'll go in here. I believe that was a center fielder. That's what we're going to have to do for now. Look at the roster, go to our center fielders. I don't know if we have anyone to bring up. We have a lot. Jose Ramos, we're going to make sure he's the one starting in center field. Let's go to those lineups there. Playing him at shortstop. What in the world? That needs to be Aleka Williams. We'll go over here. We have, yeah, in center field is correct. And then we brought in a left fielder. Okay, so that looks better. Last chance here. If I could offer you more money, I would offer you more money, but this is all we have. Oh, he signed. He signed. We got through it. Okay, didn't forget about anybody. Okay, oh my goodness, that scared me. Another thing we could look at here is, yeah, let's look at the notes from the AAA coach here, or the pitching coach, I guess, sending us this one. Not very interesting. Talbot batted .306 in July. That's pretty good. Like to see it. Merrifield, pretty good outing that month as well. Someone we want to look at, see if we want to move him to AAA eventually. Kellington had a solid month as well. It's just like, do you just give up on Skeens for the rest of the year and say bring Salamento back? I mean, he wasn't doing much better. He's okay in AAA. Falter, how are you doing in AAA? Okay, not blowing it away. But right here, Thomas Harrington, is he worth calling up? Using one of Skeens' options. Can't believe I'm saying this because he's a 79 overall, but he's not pitching like it. He is not pitching like it. 18 home runs given up. He's already tied what he did last year in way less innings, giving up more hits, more runs in less innings. Just regressing. Still has a positive WAR, just not tracking well. Just not tracking well. Does he need more time in AAA? I'm making the move. I'm feeling it today. We're going to call up Thomas Harrington and give him a shot for a few weeks, and we'll see how that goes. We'll go to the pitching rotation, make sure that's all set up. Oops, that's not what we wanted to do. There we go. We got that in order now. And then we'll need to go to our AAA bullpen here. And that means Paul Skeens goes in there. Yeah, it's... I know we're going to have some people that disagree with that decision, but that's kind of what I wanted to do there. Contract extensions, we will look at this on a different episode. There's a few players I do want to try to get into long-term deals. Might be two of them right here. Be way early for Davis, but even his potential has gone up this year. Even his potential. What did it jump to? 91. This is best case scenario. Best case scenario. I was tempted to increase Jones's potential as well, but I think, oh, it's hard. I forget where to see it here. 95. It was already a 95, so we're good. We're good. We're solid. Simulate one more day here just to be able to see the players. And Palacios, Josh Palacios is no longer injured. We will go ahead and place him on the bench and take a look at that. But this is the thing I wanted to get to this episode. Let's see how we did. Joel Gehringer, 88 potential. He's a 70 overall already. Look at that contact, 77, 81. Power's not going to be there from him. Vision's a 60. Discipline's a 73. Clutch a 58 already. Durability's pretty good. Needs some work in the field, but boy, oh boy. Cruz, we got your future backup. I think maybe he'll line up and get to the big leagues around the time Cruz needs to go away or make a decision on him. We have position flexibility with second and third base as well. Eric Baxter, a little disappointing, but he is a relief pitcher, 63 overall right now. Not too far off compared to some of our other pitchers. 77 is where he's going to top out. Looks like Tom Goss is going to be our first real bust of the draft here. I mean, he's a 72 right now, but he's going to decline with his potential being 66. This is something I just don't understand about the game. You have an 18-year-old that's just going to get worse. Interesting. I guess it will happen every once in a while. But even with that D potential, could be somebody that we lean on as a backup bench player. Elton Mendez here, 74 potential for a relief pitcher. Give him some time. He's a 59 right now. Joe Stewart, 55 overall, 89 potential. I had a feeling about this kid, 22 years old. Will he make it to the big leagues? Will he be able to grow fast enough before he ages? We'll see. Juan Polanco, 79 overall. He's a 62 right now, but the potential is a 79. He could probably come in and get some hits right away. It's about what we thought we'd see here. Pretty similar to what we have in Goss, but a little bit less ready. And then we have Glenn Mosin here, 77 potential, 57 overall. He's going to be a project as well. So some of the players, let's go shift through here and see if this draft has anybody really worth looking at here. We got Mark Swan didn't sign. We got another one down here, Miguel Navy didn't sign. Just going to kind of go through here and find some names that sound familiar to us from scouting and see if we can find anybody that we just really screwed up on. Dan Williams looks pretty good here for the Rockies. Dominic Anderson, 62 overall, but an 86 potential left fielder. Here's the starting pitcher that went #1 overall. 87 overall, 87 potential is what he's got. We didn't lose out there. There's a 91 overall second baseman here. Potential. Fernando Salva. Sounds familiar. Another 90 potential here with Alberto Batista for the Red Sox. 67 overall now. Jason Plank is an 86 potential, but he's a 46 overall. I don't think we would have wanted to draft him. What happened to Robbie Dobby? Just kind of going through here, and there's not a lot of just standout players. There's a 50 overall, but he could potentially be a 91. Just a weak draft class. Here's the other shortstop we were looking at, and I wasn't a fan of him. 59 overall right now. The Tigers got a bust right here, I think. Jude McCarthy is one we were looking at. He's 66 overall, potential 89. That's pretty good. Joe George was a good draft pick by the A's. He's going to be a 91 overall. He's 70 right now. There's Robbie Dobby. So Robbie Dobby ends up going to the A's. He's a 68 overall, potential 77. Would be nice to have a relief pitcher like that. He looks MLB ready right now. But yeah, just going through here, we got Ramos 89 overall, Rowan 89 overall. No generational talent, just not a lot that stands out to you. Woodward here is a 90 overall, looks pretty good, 72. He'll be ready pretty quick. Maybe Milt Felice was a good one, but we won't know. Maybe we'll know next year. Randall Lyons we were looking at for a little bit. He's a 61, 84 potential. Estrada, the Cubs got a nice third baseman here, 58 overall. He's going to be a project, though, but he could get to 92. Could see him in a few years. The Reds, this is what I like to see. They signed 2 of their draft picks. The rest went unsigned. Gotta love that. Not a great draft for the Brewers. Honestly, I think ours was pretty good skimming through the rest of this league, and I just had a feeling looking at these players, it wasn't going to be a great draft. It's been a lot of talking. We're still tied with the Diamondbacks at this point for the wild card. Looking at the calendar, we got 2 games left with St. Louis. Let's see, we got Oviedo pitching and Harrington. So we will do Harrington's outing here. See what happens. Pirates have defeated the Cardinals 11-1. That's beautiful. 13 hits from the team. Bay is 0 for 5. He's down to 248. That's something to look at. That is definitely something to look at. Could move the lineup around. Why is he playing center field, though? That's strange. That is strange. Let's make sure they didn't do that. That was just a change based off of people being tired. It looks like it is. Okay. All right, a lot of talking. Let's get into a full game here against the rivals, the Cardinals, who this is pretty important here. We are 2.5 games ahead of them in the wild card right now. The Cubs are still around 4.5 back. Giants are a game behind us, and the Marlins and Cardinals 2.5 back. Let's get this game all prepped up. 59 and 53 versus 57 and 56 Cardinals. Thomas Harrington's making his major league debut, talking with the pitching coach there, getting warmed up, wearing number 7. Might be controversial pulling him up and sending down Skeens, but we had to do something. If we can get anywhere close to that 2.9 ERA down here in major leagues, we'll be happy. If it's at about 3.5, 4.0, that's an improvement from what we're getting from Skeens. Let's see how Thomas does. We are on the road. We haven't played a road game in a while, but Bay's leading off here. Down to 249, as we've been mentioned earlier. We might need to switch up the lineup a little bit as he is cooled off big time. 1-0 Pirates. I mean, this is what we're playing at. I don't want to go to Hall of Fame. This is what we're going to leave it at. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Jared Triolo up next. 1-0 Pirates. Fouls that off. Feels good to be in August in the playoff hunt in year 2. Did not think this season was going to go this way. Started out cold. Thought we were going to stay cold. But here we are. Inside, 1-2. It'd be real nice to put the Cardinals another game behind us. Winning this series. Triolo just misses a home run there. That's got to be like 5 feet to left of the pole. 1-2 count. We'll do it again. Swings through a changeup. Kyle Gibson strikes out Triolo after giving up a leadoff home run to Bay. 1-0. Here's Kirilloff. We haven't seen him in a few months. Nice to see him back in the lineup. Keeping that average above 300. We got team control of him for a while, too. That was one of the big reasons why I did pull off that trade. There's a fly ball to center field. That'll be playable out there, though. 2 away. Here's the lineup showing Langford 6 out of 40 in his last 10 games. I wish we could see this stuff just in the browser in the UI here instead of having to see it in a pop-up. It'd give me some good indications of what to do with some guys, but you can see 65 RBIs for Davis, career high. He's still at 303 batting. Gosh, I hope this is the norm for him moving forward. Just base hits like that. Love the kid. 1 on, 2 outs. Brings up Cabrian Hayes, who's at 296, which I would love to be the norm for him as well. Ground ball to shortstop. That'll retire the side. You just got to feel that we're a little bit of pitching, a little bit of development away from really being a dominant team in the NL Central. But here he is. Thomas Harrington making his debut. 4-seamer, changeup, slider, curveball, 2-seamer. Looks like he tops out at 95. That curveball is 77. That'll be interesting to see. I like the 5 pitches. Nice variety. Tommy Edman up here to bat. A little nervous for Thomas here. First pitch, foul ball. Nice to see Langford in left field, though. Feels more natural with him out there, but can't replace Reynolds. 0-2 pitch. And that's going to drop in front of Langford. I was not about to dive and let that turn into a triple. That's a start off. First batter gets a hit against Harrington. See how he works out of the stretch here. Strike 1. Holds the 3rd wild card seed right now. That feels good. 6 games above 500. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Catches the corner for his first career strikeouts. Gotta love it. Hit and run is on. We've been really paying attention to those stats in AAA, and there's a couple other players that I just wish we had room for We just don't yet. And like I mentioned in the last episode or a few episodes ago, that's a good problem to have. Swings through the curveball. That fooled him. Try a slider on the 2-1 pitch. Low. The youngster seems a little nervous out here. The fastball he's locating good. The other pitches not so much yet. We'll try a full count changeup here. Misses the plate. That was smart of Donovan to not chase that. Runners at first and second with 1 out. Brings up Nolan Gorman. Nothing like starting your career on the road against a rival that is right behind you in the wild card standings. Talk about some August pressure. 0-2 to Gorman. Strikes him out looking. 2 down, runners on first and second. That brings up Nolan Arenado. Right down the middle for strike 1. Let's try the 2-seamer. Got the plate there, 0-2. Perfect time for the curveball. Swings through it, 3 strikeouts. Down go the Cardinals. They leave 2 on base. Harrington is pumped. Love it. And here's Wyatt Langford. We haven't done much player locks this season. Maybe that's the difference. We're doing the situations instead of player locks, and I don't know. The team's better than it was last year overall. Fouls off the first pitch there just early. 0-1. Gibson's the 12th pitch of the outing. There's a nice hit for Langford. Maybe that'll get him going. Get him out of this slump. Runner on first. Nobody out. Gilbert Celestino, 255. This is the highest we've seen him in the lineup. But it is kind of telling of what's going on with the team right now. Definitely need a solid star center fielder. Langford's steal must be high. Yeah, 63. That's not bad. Oh, we're just early. That was a perfect pitch to swing at. 1-1. Little chopper down the third base line. That looked fair to me. Judgment call by the umpire there. And they get him to strike out. 1 away. Mitch Jebb in the lineup today. Kind of a player we threw in there. I believe in him as a backup, but a player we threw in there because we didn't want to stunt other players' growth. And that other player we ended up trading in Peguero. 0-2 to Jebb here. His last game he played, he was 1 for 3 with a double. Besides that first pitch to Bay, I'm having a hard time seeing these pitches from Gibson. He's stumping me. Here is John Rhodes. Seeing him in the big leagues, this is awesome. The youngster, I like the way his batting stance. He looks ready. Will he develop and be a contributor? Yeah, he's just, I love it. I love the bat flip, the flip of the bat, not the flip of the bat, the way he waves the bat around while he's getting ready here. He was a 3rd-round pick by the Pirates in 2021. I think we traded for him, though. 0-2 counts. Fouled off the last 0-2 pitch. We'll see it again from Gibson here. Fouls that off. It's lucky to stay alive there. Hard hit. Oh, Nolan Arenado catch. Oh, he's always going to catch those. Paul Goldschmidt down to 6th in their lineup, but he's batting .296 still. Harrington did throw 20 pitches in the first inning. That'll be something we got to keep our eye on. 25th pitch of the outing. Fly ball to Langford. Should be 1 away. First batter retired without a strikeout for him. Here is Walker. His average is down to 309. I believe it was 322 last time we saw him. That almost catches the corner there. See what he can do with the slider on a 3-2 count. Another walk. See if the youngster can settle in here. Burleson up to bat here in the 8-hole for I'm going to keep calling them the Giants, for the Cardinals. The Giants are the closest team to us in the standings. That's a nice base hit. No way to field that or prevent it. Whoa, 2 on, 1 out. Yeah, guys, I'm not trying to pronounce that. Higasoka? Higashoka? Kyle Higasoka. I did try. I said I wasn't going to try, and then I tried. Way outside. Okay, Harrington. What is going on here, bud? Thank you. You know, back-to-back jams here. Let's see if we can get out of another one. Pitch count is getting up there, though. This is our 40th pitch already. In 2 innings. Not the best. Change up outside. He does swing. Way to get out of the jam, bud. The youngsters holding on strong. Just won't go very deep in this game at this rate. Just noticed. Is it going to let me kind of see it really good? I'm locked onto him. There we go. Look at this out-of-town scoreboard that they have in St. Louis. We have our eyes on the Giants, who are tied 2-2 in the top of the third. They got a runner on first and 1 out. Pretty cool that we can somewhat keep an eye on that game, even though it's a little early to really be scoreboard watching, but nice to know for later in the season. 1-2 count. Is that going to stay fair? Bay is on fire. With that speed, keep going, Bay. Keep on trucking. Bad throw to third gets him in there. Probably was a bad idea to go for it, but a little bit more aggressive is what we talked about. He's a single and double away from the cycle in the 3rd inning. We're going for it today. Ball 1. Trillo having a tough outing here. A strikeout and a pop-out for his first 2 at-bats. That'll keep Bay at 3rd. 1 out. Here is Kirilloff. Flew out in the 1st inning. That just gets over the second baseman. 2-0, Pittsburgh. Henry Davis 1 for 1 today. And times that up beautifully. 4-0 Pittsburgh. Can he rise up and become a new MVP candidate? I don't know if he's got the numbers to quite get there, but right now he is the team's current MVP. 20th home run of the year. 448 feet on that one. 4-0 Pittsburgh. Brian Hayes playing DH today. Almost forgot he was in the lineup. That's a loud foul ball. Oh my goodness. Fly out to left field. 2 away. Here is Langford, who got that base hit earlier. 3 for 10 in the series. 1 for 1 today. But in a cold streak. Let's help him get out of it. 2-2 pitch. Starting to wait on these pitches a little bit, and that was a little too much. Got under it. That'll end the top of the 3rd, but not before Henry Davis blasts the 2-run shot to make it 4-0 Pittsburgh. Try to strike out Nootbaar here for the 5th of the game. Got him. Looking on the corner. 6th of the game. I lost one there. Try to catch the corner with this slider. Got it over there. Can Rhodes run this down? Oh, it hit the wall anyways, or the fence, the netting. 0-2 pitch. Just a little low, about a foot low. Try it again. Outside, 2-2. Try the slider on the 2-2 pitch. Swings at it, but fouled down the 3rd base line. We'll do it again. Still 2-2. And I don't like throwing the same pitch back to back, but we're going to try it here. Ground ball to Kirilloff. 2 away. So much for the low pitch count inning. Gorman's fighting off some pitches. Grounds to Kirilloff. We get out of it 1-2-3, but he's close to 60 pitches already through 3. It's going to be tough to get Harrington through 5 innings to get him on pace or on deck on the books for the win. We'll do our best. Celestino up to bat here. 4-0 ball game. Gibson still on the mound. That's a strike on the corner. 0-1. Over to Goldschmidt for 1 out. Back up the middle. Play for the second baseman. Gets it there in time. 2 outs. Donovan with a nice play at second base. Chance to see John Rhodes bat again here. Let's get the youngster a hit. Fouls off the sinker. 0-1. That was a protection swing there to ground out and end the top of the 4th. 4-0. 0-2 pitch. Strike 3, swinging. That's going to be a nice base hit for Goldie there. Runner at first, 1 out in the 4th. Control's looking pretty good. The command. Oh, Langford going to play this one. He does get it. Not a bad arm there. All right, maybe the kid's got some potential in the field. That was a good play. I like him out there in left. 0-1. Ground ball to Jeb. Fields it. Steps on the bag. That'll take us through 4. Only 3 hits given up by Harrington and 2 walks. Here is Bay with a home run and triple. Only 2 hits of the series, too. Let's see if we can get a single and a double. Well, we can only get one of them in this at-bat. Oh, come on. 0 for 2 today. 2 tough at-bats. Struck out and a lazy fly ball to Arenado. That might get in the gap, but I don't think it will. Oh, it gets over his head. That's trouble. Triolo's going to try to stretch this into a triple. That was a mistake. I hate that part of the game. Like, he started running towards me right when I pushed it. Triolo didn't even make a move yet. And he's out. 2-2 pitch incoming. And that would have scored Triolo. That'll be a double for Kirilloff, though. And Henry Davis just keeps on hitting. Henry Davis is going to get a triple. 5-0 Pittsburgh. Your Brian Hayes 0 for 2 today. Probably should have gave him a full day off, but can't give all 9 days off. He'll ground out. That'll retire the side. 5-0 Pittsburgh. Lots of run support for the young pitcher. Let's see if we can get him through 5 and probably go to the bullpen after that. But we might want to start getting someone warming up. This is pitch number 69 here for a strike. And the bullpen's looking pretty tired. We're going to have Moretta start warming up. Yeah, we're going to... All right. Got to give those long relievers a day off. This is one of those that would have been nice to get him through at least 6. But maybe a quick 5th inning here. 1 down. Fly ball to Langford. 2 away in the 5th. Harrington trying the slider on Newbar. That's going to be a nice base hit. Rhodes is going to run it down. Try to hold him to 2 here. And he will stay at second. In the playoff hunt, pitcher's getting tired. Doesn't have 5 innings yet. I think either way, this will be the last batter that Harrington faces. And he gets through 5. Well done. I think we're going to leave Harrington in here. I'm also going to get Loasiga warming up. Looks like Ferguson needs a day off as well. Got to give him at least a chance to save our bullpen a little bit here. Triolo is able to play that. 1 out. Celestino go over to play this. 2 down. 3-1. That catches the corner. Thankfully, we got that call. We're going to throw fastball high inside. Way too high, though. Walk number 3. 89 pitches so far. He is tired. I'm impressed with Harrington so far. I don't think we had an outing like this with Skeens. That catches the bottom of the plates there. 0-2. Try a curveball to get Walker out here. Grounds to Kirilloff. Runs to first. Shut out through 6 for Harrington. Giants are up 4-2 against the Brewers now. 1-2 count. So we got a win to stay ahead of them. Inside, 2-2. Oh, he swung through that. That's going to be a strikeout. 2 down. Oh, and a ballsy move by the coach, leaving Harrington in the bottom of the 7th. Wanting to see what this kid has when he's this tired. The bullpen's a little depleted. Might be pressing the issue here, but we'll see how it goes. 95th pitch from Harrington. Ground ball to Bay. 1 out. Higashioka. I wasn't that far off earlier. Higashioka. Strike one. He's completely out of energy now. Fouls that off. Try the changeup to strike out Higashioka here. Foul ball. Do it again. Yep, we know he's out of energy.
1-2.
1-2 count. Try the slider here. Strikes him out. Ooh, Harrington, what are you doing? 8 strikeouts. That was his 100th pitch of the outing.
No, that's
Just misses there. 2-0 pitch. Rhodes tries to make a play on it. We got to switch to Celestino. We're not going to be able to hold him to second here. That's going to be a triple for Edman. And that's going to do it for Harrington. 6 2/3. Pretty good outing. Loasiga, here we go. Get us out of this. Do not give up the run for Harrington. Let's let him go 6 2/3 and no runs given up. He is responsible for the runner at third, so the earned run would be his if the guy comes across the plates. Ground ball to Bay. Tough backhand play there. Fires over to Kirilloff. Curl. He's out. Kirilloff with the catch there. Try the fastball to retire him. Ground ball to Triolo. Eats him up a little bit. He recovers. Not in time. Should be an error on Triolo. Base hit. Okay. That was friendly. Nolan Gorman up. That slurve is kind of nasty. Ground ball. Bay can't get to it. Celestino throws to third. Holds the runner at second. You know, I knew it was going pretty smooth here. Had a feeling something would happen facing off against a division rival. 6-0 lead. Arenado fouling these off. Holding tight. Holding strong in this at bat. Ground ball to Triolo. Tags the runner. Throws to second. Throws to first for a triple play. No shot. We're going to see a replay of that, right? Triolo doesn't look impressed. Ground ball to Triolo. Tags the first runner. Throws to second. Bay back over to first. We just had a triple play. Would have been something if we were going for a cycle and got a cycle and a triple play in the same game. And we are going to bring in Castro. Still at 1.15 ERA. The surprise of the season for me. Goldschmidt fouls off the first pitch, 0-1. A little farther outside with the slider, gets by him that time. Change up to strike him out, but he fouls it off. And then we'll try his best pitch, the sinker now. Goldie a little early on that one. We'll do it again. Swings through a slider. Strikeout number 1 for Castro. 1 out in the 9th. Jordan Walker up to bat. 0 for 2 today. That slider is working some magic right now. Ground ball. Bay cannot reach it. Rhodes does get to it. Tries to throw him out at first. Not going to happen. Base hit. Walker. All right, Castro. Let's get a double play. Let's get out of here. Getaway day. Let's get out of St. Louis. That's going to be a base hit, though. Runners at first and second. 1 out here in the 9th inning. 6-run game. These little bloops. Seeing eye singles. Got Castro a little frustrated. Felt like he's locating the ball pretty well, but just better at bats. 1-2 counts. He went on that one. 2 outs. 2 strikeouts for Castro. 2 runners on. Tommy Edman here. 2 for 4 today. Strike 1. Strike 2 on the slider. Try that backdoor slider here. Catch the plate. Get him looking. Almost caught the corner. 1-2. And the money pitch, the sinker. Fouls it off. We'll do it again. Changeup misses. 2-2. Rhodes can get under this one. 6-0 victory for the Pirates. Big time win for the rookie pitcher Harrington. Thomas Harrington, 6 2/3 inning, 5 hits, 8 strikeouts, 3 walks, no earned runs. We win 2 out of 3 against the Yankees, and a weird Friday-Saturday series against Detroit. We score 32 runs in 3 days. Let's look at a few of these box scores. On the mound for us, I'm going to start there as Keller gets his 9th win of the year. 16 hits by the team, 5 RBIs for Zawitsky. Killeroff has got his average up to 331. Davis is at 302. Cruz is at 265 with 2 RBIs. We have home runs from Cruz, Killeroff, and Zawitsky. This team is, they're looking good. Box score the next day, this should be Avedo pitching. He goes 7 innings, gives up 2 runs and 2 hits. We get 12 hits and 10 runs. Triolo, Zawitsky, Walker, and Celestino all homer. And then 10-1 against the Tigers the next day. We have Harrington throws a 9-inning, 3-hit, 1 run, no earned, 9 strikeout, complete game. What in the world? After 2 starts, he has a 0 ERA. And we give him 10 runs in support. What in the world is happening? Took a flyer on bringing him up ahead of Solometo, ahead of Falter. And so far, it is paying off. Stamina's decreased. Weird. He's pitched 15 innings in 2 outings. You think the stamina would get improved from that? A whip of 083. Way too early to say what this kid is, but what a start to his career. Right now, we're 6.5 behind the Reds with a 10-game over 500 record of 64-54 and a 4-game lead on the Giants. Every episode we get into this, it seems closer and closer to this being a real thing that we will make the playoffs. We've got a month and a half to find out. I don't think we'll catch the Reds, but playoffs seem to be in the future for us. Pretty decent draft class. I think the only one we really missed on was Tom Goss, and Goss might still be a contributor with his 66 potential, but the statistics are pretty good everywhere, so he might be able to be just a nice bench player, DH, or a pinch hitter for us. Joe Stewart, another guy who's just going to take a while. You know, we got a lot of people at second base, a lot of people at third base in the system. He'll be maybe 25, 26 when he gets a chance. The rest of these guys, I think it's a pretty decent draft class given what we've seen when we scroll through the rest of the guys we could have got. There's a couple 90s out there, but not a lot of them. We're going to leave off here. The middle of August. We'll finish August next episode. Get into September. We're going to slow down a little bit, play some more of these series. We've got a big one against the Cubs. We got a huge series against the Reds that we'll feature next episode, and a tough 4-game series against the Dodgers as well. In September, doesn't get any easier. We got 3 more against the Reds. End of the season, we have the D-backs, the Padres, the White Sox. Getting pretty exciting here. Pittsburgh series. I'm Sox Way Up. I'll catch you on the next episode.